Hey everybody, welcome back. So today we are having a birthday party for my son's 18th birthday, and I'm up at my mom's house. So I decided to take a little walk up in her back forest area. So my mom owns 86 acres out in the woods, and well, let's just say she's one person on 86 acres. So I really haven't been back here since I was a kid, really. So now that it's warmer out, I wanted to come up here back in November, but it got really cold. So now that it's starting to warm up a little bit, I could take a walk and reminisce, so to speak, and check everything out and see what's what. It's a good piece of property. It's a little rocky. It's wooded, obviously. You can see everything behind me. But, you know, anything is possible. So, let me flip you around. I mean, my mother's house is straight through the woods there. There's one neighbor that's way up on the hill there. But man, it is quiet. I think that's really what I'm most looking for. I mean, I don't know if you can hear in the distance because there is a state road that my mom's road is off of. And you can just barely hear the cars in the distance. It's like whatever. I mean, I don't know if you can see up there. There's big, huge boulders in certain places. I gotta say, it does bring me back to a time when things were simple. And I spent my teenage years trying to get out of here. Now I'm 45 and all I want to do is come back. Isn't that how it works? It's just this entire place was my playground. Of course we take things for granted when we're that age. But now that it's nice and warm today, well, nice and warm. It's chilly, but oh, see, now all these rocks on this hill. But that hill's not usable anyways. I don't know. You know, I'm not ruling out anything. Yeah, let's just take a walk. So this is a logging road. My mother has had certain parts of her property logged in various years. This property is in the Adirondack Park in New York State. So there are a lot of rules and regulations of what you can do with these trees, which is fine. They have always very selectively cut things from certain parts of her property and not on others. You know, we still have to be good stewards of the land because this has to stay forever. I mean, it's just beautiful up here. Boy, have I taken this for granted all my life. So I wanted to take a walk and scope things out and enjoy the views and see what I can remember, I guess. Definitely spent days, hours, days, weeks just wandering around these woods. Some people may think, oh gosh, you were a feral kid. And we kind of were. I mean, this was such a great place to grow up. All right, this hill. See, I can't see where the neighbors' houses are to see where the property line ends. My younger brother, he's quite the avid hunter, so I'm sure, well, I know, because I can see one. There's posted signs all over the place. Along, oh, that's pretty high up there. Just look at the massive boulders. It's just crazy. I want to see. Huh. Well, we're just going to keep going. I do have a map of our property, but it's still kind of hard to really see what is on a piece of paper and what you're actually seeing in front of you. Gosh, we used to ride four-wheelers up here. Well, first it was our bicycles before we had a four-wheeler. All right, so I know on the map it dips off, and that's probably right up here. Yeah, because there's a mountain up this direction, and a huge amount of water comes out of that mountain and runs actually down in front of my mother's house. And the beaver have really run rampant and done a lot of things. Oh, here we go. This is a telltale sign of spring coming. Gosh, I don't know if you can see them. They're not fleas. Shoot, I just saw a video of these saying what they are. They're not fleas. Ooh, they're everywhere. They're not harmful, but I definitely don't want them on me. But let me bring this back up here. You can see the water. All of this section here is all dead and down trees from the beavers backing up the water flow, just making this huge pond, which I can see on the map. So this is almost to the edge of my mother's property on the farthest east side. There's this one little section here that we can walk through. Okay, you can see the water better. It's just like marshy. I honestly wonder if you could clean that out. God, just have so many ideas of what you could do. There. We've ridden on this section so many times. It's hard to keep people off your property these days too. So there, that goes to I believe, friends of ours. That's how they get to our property. A lot of this property past my mother's property is all landlocked. So that means that you have to cross someone else's property to get to that property. But, you become friends with people and you have respect for people, and you can give them permission to come up here. He's got a little camp on his property. No water, no electricity. I believe he's got some propane, so at least he's got something. There we go. Now we're gonna get to some bigger water. Oh. At this point, it's almost a full-blown pond over there. Huh. Let's keep going, because I'll show you. We call this the car wash. Because, back in the 90s, you could just run right through a part of it and continue on the trail like a car wash. Again, things were so simple back then. Just trees. Trees everywhere. Thankfully, it doesn't look like anyone's been up here. Still a little chilly yet. I definitely saw some ice still back there. And it's March 16th. It's not a bad walk either. It's not super far. Far enough to be away from people. Is that my goal? No. My goal is to be more self-sufficient and be able to have room to do what I want to and what I need to do. Oh, some trees down here. And, ooh. See, it's springtime, so the water is much higher than it usually is. I'll never make it across there, but that's okay. I don't need to. I just kind of wanted to wander around this. Water. Water, water, water. And it's all around the corner. Let's see if I can get in a little. I don't know if you can see across the way. Let's see. Water back through the trees. It kind of loops around. But what is the one thing that you absolutely have to have? Water. It's funny, I very, very much remember a time I was maybe, I don't know, 10 or 12-ish, and I can't really see it now, but right over here, past, right around where that stump is there, on the other side of that, we were playing around, and I was digging down in like, there was like a separate spot of water that was like coming out into this main part. And I'm like, what is this? So I started digging down. It's very, very sandy here. So I dug down to the sand and I could see what I thought was sand spitting out of this little hole area. But it wasn't. It was water. It was water just coming out of the ground. It was the most amazing revelation that I had as a 10 or 12-year-old. I'm like, wow, is there really water coming out of the ground? And I just vividly remember that. And I feel like that's so cool to just have a really neat memory like that. Oh, I can see the beaver dam. Look at this. I'm telling you, the beavers will destroy everything. All right, let me get around this tree and don't drop my camera. Oh, other way. Oh, goodness gracious. Let me see if I can get to the other side. Let's go this way so I can see it better. The beavers will wreak havoc on everything. I'm not afraid to walk through the woods, kids, so let me just get through the trees here. Dang, they've been working. You see it? How it's all rounded there? Yeehaw. So that's going to back everything up. So that is actually the beaver's house. And then they dam all this up and then everything floods. It is very difficult. Ooh, it's getting windy. But that's a beaver dam. We have a lot of beavers here. A lot of beavers. I definitely will tell my brother, sorry beavers, I'm tattling on you. Because we can't have too many beavers up here. All right, let me get back through the trees here. Good thing I'm little. There. So, yeah. Wanted to kind of show you a little bit of what my mom's got going on here. That is a beautiful piece of nature. It is lovely up here. So all this water runs down in front of my mother's house, and I'll show you that because she has this beautiful waterfall that's literally right in front of her house. So I'll show you that in a bit. So I'm going to go explore for a little while. Look at all this moss. It's so beautiful. And I found multiple different forms of lichen. This is lichen. And where did I find the other one? I mean, it's everywhere, but I had a good example. This is a form of lichen. You can see there's a different form of lichen right there. So lichen actually only grows in very self-sustainable ecosystems. So if you have lichen in your area, then you have a very good sustainable ecosystem. So everything is going the way that it's supposed to, according to Mother Nature. And another tip here, so I'm very much off the beaten path here. And as I'm walking, I'm making sure, one, I know what direction I'm coming from because I'm paying attention to the direction of the sun. You can very, very easily get lost in the woods very quickly. Second thing I can think of, I can hear the traffic on the main road. And I know that's south of me. And the sun is getting ready to go to the west. So I do know what direction I am in. And if you're ever in doubt, it's hard to give you a good example right here because it's so dense. I did see a tree because I thought about telling you a minute ago that predominantly moss will grow on the north side of a tree. Not the south side, because if the south side gets sun, like as it should, if it can get sun, then the moss wouldn't grow as much on that side of the tree. But I did find a little example just to kind of show you here. Well, I guess this is better than nothing. It's a little tree. So you can see the moss on here. This is the north side. I know that because I know where I am. The direction is north. Now, even though there is still moss on here, there's not as much moss. It's just because it's really dense forest in here and it's really cool. Very cool temperature. But you can see the difference, that there's not a lot of moss here. This is south. And this is the north side. Food for thought if you get lost in the woods. It is helpful. It's just the little things. Knowing that, or knowing where the sun is. So at least you know if you're north, south, east, or west. So we're a little bit off. A little bit. Because now I can see the sun, and that's heading in the west. Although the sun's not quite as high in the sky as you could definitively say that direction's west, because it's still only March. And the sun is not very high in the sky. So, in turn, I didn't get lost. I'm back on the path. So I'm just kind of hitting the middle sections just because I want to see. Really, honestly, some of these parts I don't think I ever have been in. So it's still March, so it's still up really wet. Gosh, there's still some snow and ice back here. Although we didn't really get a lot of snow. It's crazy. So that was my tip for the day. I'm going to keep walking. Show you some of these really big boulders. Now, there's a little slot right there. I'm just going to be cautious when you walk up to stuff. You never know what's living in there. I don't know how big it is. No, it's okay. Be cautious. I know a fox is a fox, but be respectful of wildlife, because you never know what they're gonna do to you. Look at these huge rocks. Aren't they amazing? Let me try to get to one. There's a whole, oh, this is awesome. I don't think I would ever be able to move these, but they are awesome. Oh, that sun feels so good. Just sit on the rocks with my lichen. I mean, just peaceful. You can hear the birds, the trees swaying in the wind, the trees creaking in the wind because they're very close together. Okay, let's see if I can get off this rock. Gosh, look at how cool this is. They look like little hairs. Now that's a lot of lichen right here. A lot of lichen. So good. Excellent. Now that's a big mamma jamma. Oh, hello, there's a little hole there. Oh, don't fall. Look at the size of this baby. Oh, it's big. It's big. It's very big. There's a lot of them. Oh, you know, there's so much use for a lot of things. And stones are one of them. Obviously, I will never in my lifetime be able to move this. But there's other rocks around here. Like rocks fencing, like coming up with ideas. But this thing is huge. Oh, come down. Oh, too much. Gotta get used to this gimbal. That's a big rock. Very big rock. It's beautiful. There's a bunch of other little rocks. And I'm saying little, but they still look like they're 500 pounds, 1,000 pounds, a couple 100 pounds at least. Beautiful Mother Nature. And then I come out of this little logging trail, which is a makeshift little driveway road. And there's my mother's log cabin. This is where I grew up. I can hear the waterfalls from here. The springtime roar. That's what I call it. Let's go see it. Here we are. A very large water source. So let's see. I don't know if you can see past the trees. I'll try to zoom. Oh boy, nope. There's the mountain. The water comes all the way down and ends up here. And just keeps on flowing. It's very, very wide this time of year. It's always much bigger in the springtime. And then you turn around. And there's Mama's log cabin. Beautiful spot. So I didn't end that video yesterday because we had a little party and cake and ice cream for Matthew, but I wanted to show you. I always like to end with the chickens. Say hello, everybody! Right? And as always, from my coop to yours, thank you for growing with me so I can grow with you. Check out Matthew's birthday cake. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Matthew. Happy birthday to you. All right, Jennifer. Matthew, Jennifer. Got it. Thank you. Can we do that with no lights? Yeah. Here, come with me. Get in there.